Hello, everybody, and welcome back to 50 Shades of Tay. I'm Taylor Gonzalez, and my guest today is the costume designer of the live action adaptation of One Piece on Netflix. I am so excited to be joined by Kerry Anne-Barnard. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm amazing. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to talk to you.
Oh, thank you for being here. I am very excited to speak with you as well. I actually have done, I think, 6 interviews now with the cast of One Piece, and it's just been
I
so fun getting to speak with everybody and hear all these
know.
stories about, how you guys put this show to life. And yeah, just very excited to have you here today.
Thank you so much. It's a project that is surrounded by a lot of love. Like we just all really just love getting to work on that project. I mean, it's a dream project to work on.
Oh, that is awesome to hear. I wanted to start off by saying congratulations. I know you guys just finished wrapping season 3, which we can't talk
We
about,
did.
but
Phew.
congratulations on that.
Thank you. Thank you. It was a big one and it's going to be amazing.
Ah, cannot wait. Counting down the days.
I know, I know.
When you wrap a big project like that, how do you celebrate?
Well, the production do put on a lovely wrap party for us where we get to kind of like shake it all out. And then within my department, we do, I mean, we like to do a bit of cake. So there's a lot of cake in the costume department. I think the costume department's actually fueled by cake, if I'm honest. And well, I think with this particular with One Piece we are working at such a pace that when we rap, we're actually doing a lot of reflecting
Hmm.
and we're doing a lot of connecting of like sharing stories and sharing incidences and we're packing up the costumes and the costumes hold so much stories around them and so there's a lot of I guess the way we celebrate is a lot of kind of reflecting back and then also like a little bit of a wee little costume party at the end.
Ah, that is awesome. Yeah, you have to have cake. You have to have a costume
Always.
party. So fun. I wanted to ask you, how did you get involved with being the costume designer for One Piece?
So yeah, I was the assistant costume designer on season one. I came in quite late on season one, and then I was there for a good portion of it. And then on season two, they invited me back to be the costume designer. I came in again quite close to the wire, but I loved the challenge. I was so up for the challenge.
Ah, that is incredible. If you had to guess, do you know about how many costumes were designed for season 2 of One Piece?
I actually have no idea because there are so many.
Yeah.
And the thing is that we don't just make one. We make, for example, any of the straw hats, there is a minimum of 8 units depending on the action. So it adds up quite quickly. I think we actually kept better track of it for season three. So when I talk to you again, I will have a better answer for you
Okay,
on
yeah,
that.
because you're right, it adds up so fast. You got to
No,
think
it's
all the
it's
different,
insane.
yeah,
Yeah, the
so
workshop
many.
is busting.
Oh my God. Well, how much of when you're designing for live action comes from wanting to adhere to what came before with the manga and the anime versus what you're trying to do in live action and what works best for live action?
So I am I very much consider the manga my Bible. And this is such a well-loved story that I absolutely want to do my best to be able to, like I say, I want those characters to walk onto that set and look like they've busted out of that manga. So that is my high priority. And then we obviously need to do a few tweaks here and there to make the costumes stunt appropriate so it works alongside prosthetics, the props department, hair, makeup, so that we are a cohesive conversation when we all come together. So yeah, it's there we have like a little bit of a leeway. For example, Nami's Laboon look, because we were shooting in the dead of winter in Cape Town, which actually gets really, really cold. And where the studios are positioned, it's like a low-lying area, so it gets very cold. And Emily was incredible with that because she was in a tiny skirt, and then obviously the manga is a little vest. So we were able to give her a long sleeve, which helps with a bit of padding on elbows, but also we could like shove in a whole lot of thermals under there to try and keep her as warm as possible. And sometimes we need to make a little bit of allowances with like length of things so we can cover pads. And but ultimately, I try my damnedest, and my team as well. We really really try our best to get it looking very much manga specific.
Uh, one of my favorite costumes in the season is when Monkey wears like a checkered like coat. Can you talk a little bit about that? Like it's like a yellowish checkered coat.
Yes. So that coat actually had so much math in it. My amazing assistant costume designer, Yakamina, who I cannot do my life without. She's absolutely incredible. Um, there was a lot of math, and she kind of helped work out the scaling because Nami wears it as well as Luffy, but they are proportionally different sizes. So the blocks needed to work proportionately. And there were many, many versions of that coat made because we also printed the fabric. And to get the coat working on each of them was quite a mathematical feast. I always say there was a lot more math in costume design than I actually bargained for. And so we also had a lot of constructing to do with Luffy being able to pull off the sleeve easily. And that's a big shout out to Onati in the breakdown department because he worked his magic in order for that to be quite an easy pull off for Kiki to do. Um, and we had at least about, I think, four goes. We gave the set about four goes of ripping that sleeve off. So yeah, we look at that coat and we kind of shiver a little bit, but it's such an iconic piece for the show that we really wanted to do it justice.
Yeah, I love that color. I love the design of it. So I know it was a lot of math and a lot of work, but it really
Yeah.
pays off
Yeah.
because it's a standout for me for season two.
Oh, thank you. That's so lovely to hear. Thank you so much.
And it just looks so cozy too. It looks really comfortable.
Yeah, it was. It was because, well, it was so interesting. We kind of shot all the like summer scenes in winter, and then we shot all the winter scenes in summer. But there was still a little nip in the air. So it was nice to be able to kind of keep the actors warm as well.
Mhm.
Sometimes a little bit too warm with the winter coats in summer.
Oh my gosh. Well, out of all of the gorgeous costumes you designed for One Piece season two, do you have a favorite?
So this question, it's like picking your favorite song because you love songs for different reasons. I do have to say, I really loved Korea. I loved doing Korea's costumes. And Katie Seagal she was such a rock star with them. I put her in top to toe leather and she had to move and she had to do all these things. And I loved that costume because also Andrea, who made the trousers for me, that was also to get that swiggle, to get that kind of drawn line that she did using leather and her hands and her machines was just it was like magic or like watching magic unfold. So I would say it was Korea. I loved Herelick as well. There was a lot of love that went into Herelick's costume and that character for me. Oof, that story just it really really hits your heart. It really hits your heart. So I would say yeah, Herelick, and then also Brooke. I loved Brooke.
Oh, yeah.
I love Brooke. I got to he in the manga and the anime, he's drawn just in this black suit.
Mhm.
But I found this amazing fabric that is not quite suiting, but we just made it work and it has this amazing kind of kick of a scale print on it, which was just like it just worked so beautifully for that. So yeah, there is definitely quite a few. But I would say that those were up there for me.
Oh,
Oh, and also Miss Goldenwick and Mr. Three. I can't choose.
no, I
I
know it
can't
is. It is really tough to narrow it down because once you name one, you think of another one. And then also like each character has so many different looks too. It's not just like the one look. So
No,
So many
exactly.
gorgeous costumes. But I'm glad you mentioned Hiraluk and I'm glad you mentioned Brooke because I got to interview both of them. They were both so kind, and it's everyone
Magic,
that
yeah.
I've spoken with has just been incredibly nice and incredibly passionate about this show. And we just talk
Yeah.
about like all the like hard work that goes into this. Like you said, with the math, with creating that coat, watching it at home on Netflix, people don't understand, how much time, how much effort goes into it. So getting to speak with you guys and getting to hear, behind the scenes, it's really nice to get to hear how everyone
No,
worked
it's
together to make this.
it's an absolute labor of love. It really is. There's hard days, but there's fun days. There's you just you walk onto that set and you see that world created, and it just feels like something quite. It's unlike anything that really exists.
Yeah.
Sensei Oda created this world, and it's about play and discovering and creativity and connection. And I think that is what we are so desperately needing on this planet right now. And to be able to walk onto those sets and see those spaces created, it takes my breath away, and you just like you fall in love with why you keep falling in love with why you do this.
Yeah. Oh, that is amazing. Uh, which character would you say, or costume, it could be character or costume, was the hardest to translate from the page to putting it on screen in live action?
I think it was chess. Chess was our big challenge for the season, as well as Wapple. Wapple, big shout out to the prosthetics. Yaku and his team did such an incredible job. They did that armor. We worked alongside them to create, the full look. Um, but for chess was because Mark had to wear this crazy thing on his head, but he had so much action and he had the quiver that he needed to be able to move. So it was being able to find a way to make the costume work for the character so that he wasn't needing to think about it when he goes onto set. That's what I want. I don't want cast to have to think about their costume. I don't want them to be like, oh, I've got to think about this because they've got so many other things to think about. I want it to feel like it's marinated into them. And with Mark, there was a lot of math to like get that sitting correctly so that we didn't have too much gaping. So we still created the illusion of this weird and wonderful character, but it was still practical, it was still safe, it was still comfortable. Um, and I managed to find this really beautiful quilting that was sort of like soft and spongy enough, so it just worked with how we needed to build that structure, but then he could still move.
Mm.
He did so well. He did so well with that costume and that character. So I would say probably, yeah, Chess and Wapple were our kind of our challenging ones.
Yeah, when you said Wapple, I was like, oh, that to me would be really hard. Mainly, I think mainly the prosthetics, because I can't even in my mind imagine how I would put it from what we see on a page or in a cartoon to an actual human being. So what everyone did and came together and created it, it just turned out
And
so awesome.
that jaw moved with him. What Yaku did was it was incredible. And Rob was just I and Rob is the loveliest human.
Oh,
I remember like fitting him. And then I think one of the early scenes that we did with him was that Pangea scene when he is so scary. And I remember watching him and I was like, oh my gosh, like that is insane because he's the loveliest person and he just played that so well. And then alongside that jaw and the wig, Amanda and her team did such an incredible job with getting that color of the wig and the flex going. That was an incredible collaboration between so many departments.
and it turned out incredible. So that is awesome to
Oh,
hear.
thank you, thank you.
Hearing you speak about designing costumes and picking the fabric, I feel like that might be my favorite part if I were to design costumes would be getting to go to the wherever you go, like the store, the shop, and feeling
Yeah.
everything and looking at it and stretching it and stuff. What would you say is your favorite part of designing costumes?
Just that, exactly
Yeah.
that. Sourcing fabric is uh, being surrounded by all those beautiful woven pieces and the color. that to me is I love that. I love immersing myself in that. And then getting to really play with color in terms of with the dye department, Donovan, the head of my dye department. Um, he knows me so well. He knows the tones that I love. And I love getting to play. And we like, I see something and I'm like, oh, I don't know if this is going to die, but if anybody can dye it, it's going to be Donovan because I love it. And I've got a feeling about it. And then he gets it into the dye pots and we play. So I would say the dyeing and then also collaborating with my wonderful breakdown department because I can't choose. I love it all because it's also the fabrication, getting to work alongside those amazing creators to be able to bounce ideas off each other and collaborate and figure it out. So definitely on the creative process, that whole line is my favorite. There's so many different elements within being a costume designer, like all the other stuff that you're having to deal with. But I would say that that side of things is definitely my favorite. I can get lost in that for hours.
Ah, it sounds like so much fun. Where do you go? Do you go to like a warehouse or do you go to different shops? How do you find your fabrics?
So we sourced a lot of stuff locally on season two, but also we get to broaden our horizons and we do shop a little bit internationally as well. Um, I think we managed to we had to bring in Herolix his coat fabric we brought in from overseas because I wasn't quite finding it here because it's like a beautiful stamped velvet. And I had that in my head. I kind of like struck me in the middle of the night one day and I was like, that's what I want for him. And then I'm a little bit like a dog with a bone when I like know what I want. And I'm like, no, we have to do it. And then Haley, who's one of my supervisors, who is, I call her Miss Marple because if I throw her something, I'm like, I'm struggling to find it. That girl will find it.
Oh, that is awesome. Is there a character or a costume that we have not seen yet in live action that in the future, whether it's season four, five, six, which fingers crossed, this goes on for a very long time, but is there something that you would like to one day adapt to live action?
There are a few. I'm really looking forward to, being able to dig into the Nico Robin looks. But then I would have to say it will probably be Doflamingo. I want to
Oh,
do that coat. I want to do that coat. I mean, it's so drag and fabulous. Like, I mean, I cannot wait to get my grabby costume paws on that. And then also probably Boa Hancock. I would,
oh yeah.
I think that would be so beautiful. That would be amazing to be able to do. That would be an honor to be able to do her costume.
Oh, I can't wait. Yes, I cannot wait. I just can't wait to see where the show goes and can't wait to see more
What would be
things
yours?
translated. Oh, I don't know. I really don't know because some of them on page I like, but then when I see them in live action, I love it. So it's like I think for me it might be
Yeah,
something unexpected where on the page I'm like, oh, that's a nice shirt or that's a nice jacket, but then seeing like the yellow checkered one that I mentioned, like seeing it
yeah,
translated and just seeing like, oh, to me it looks like it even I don't know, it shines like even more of a spotlight on it being translated into live action. So I'm just
yeah.
excited. I'm just excited to see what you guys come up with. I
I
just
can't
think
wait
everything has been so much fun.
I can't wait for you guys to see it. I cannot wait.
Where are the costumes now? Do you guys keep them stored in a warehouse? Do you think there's any potential that maybe one day Netflix could put on some kind of like costume museum or display?
Wow, I mean, I haven't even ever wrapped my head around that. That would be so special. That would be so special. We do when we do our show and tells, or we have, people coming through to have a look, and we dress the mannequins, and then you kind of see it all together. It it's so special. And I would that would be amazing because then I think a lot gets missed on screen because things are so quick to be for the fans to maybe get up close and personal, not even just with the costumes, with props and and hair and makeup and prosthetics for the fans to be able to see the amount of detail in all of that up close and personal, I think would be so special. I am going to chat to Netflix about that.
Yeah, I would love it. I've been to Netflix a couple times, and they have a really nice lobby space where what I would love is if they did a screening when season three comes out, and then in the lobby, you can see like the costumes featured in the season three premiere, and you can like read little details about them and just get up close. Because,
Yeah.
like you said, I think it was Wicked, the movie adaptation that just came out, where the costumes were gorgeous, but I got to see them in person. And there were
Oh,
so many things that on the screen you don't see because, like you said, it's so quick. And also, there's like huge amounts of sets and um, actors and creatures on screen. But when you're up
yeah.
close and you get to see like, oh, there's like a raindrop on this, or oh, there's clouds on this, or oh, that had feathers that you didn't see, or the sequins. So yes, I would love something like that where we got to have a screening of the season three premiere, followed by here's some of the costumes and props featured in that episode.
No, I think so. Come, Netflix, are you hearing? Are you listening? Are you listening?
Oh my
That would
gosh.
be amazing.
Yeah.
Hopefully that can happen. That would be really special. That would be
Yeah.
so special. It would blow me away. Wouldn't even really know what to do with that.
Well, Carrie, I can't thank you enough for your time and for joining me to talk all things One Piece. If people want to
Yeah.
follow you and keep up with all your other upcoming projects and see maybe some behind the scenes stuff, where's a good place for people to come and check you out?
So I have my website, that's kerrybarnard.com, and then also good old Instagram, which is I am underscore cab underscore.
Well, thank you so much for being here. I hope you have a great rest of your day. And
Thank
just, yeah, thank you
you.
again so much for everything.
No, absolutely. Thank you so much. You're amazing. I
Oh,
appreciate your
thank you so
time.
much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.